So, good evening, good evening, everyone. What's up? Happy What's the Word Wednesday. I'm Erica Salee, and I am coming to you from the beach to share this week's edition of What's the Word Wednesday. So, I do want to take this opportunity to welcome you into this conversation. And if this is the first time that you have joined me on my platform or alive, then I do want to welcome you into this space. So come on in, settle in with me for just a moment. While you do that, I do want to let you know that perhaps you hear the rolling of the waves out in the distance. I was going to try to share this with you so that you could actually see the waves, but I realized that it wasn't really a good view from how I was trying to set things up. And so hopefully you can hear it. You hear the sounds of people enjoying time on the beach, celebrating the sound and the season of summer. So come on in, take a moment to just settle in with me. If this is the first time that you are joining me, I do want to welcome you, number one. And I do want to take this opportunity to introduce myself to you. I am Erica Salee, speaker, Amazon number one best-selling author, and transformation success coach. And I get excited when I have the opportunity to help women figure out what it is that stands in the way of their success. And the best part is sharing the strategies to help them move beyond those barriers so that they can create the best versions of themselves. And so, if this is the first time that you are here in whatever space you happen to be seeing me on, whatever platform, then I do want to again welcome you. So, this is the second installment of What's the Word Wednesdays. So, you might be saying, well, What's the Word Wednesdays? Well, I decided that I wanted to share some readings from my Amazon number one bestseller. I'm Here Now What? Finding Joy After the Storm. After all, this is um, coming up on the anniversary of the launch of the book. We held the launch party on September 23rd of 2023, but we started the launch campaign in July of last year. Why? Because it was my birthday. So I celebrated my 54th birthday on July the 8th. I am happy and grateful to have seen 54 years, blessed and thankful for that. And so I decided that I wanted to do something special. I wanted to just kind of go back to the time when we launched the brand new book, and I wanted to just engage in some conversation and just kind of share in a special moment, especially because, yes, this is my birthday month. Yes, I said birthday month. For those of you who don't know, I do celebrate my birthday for the entire month of July. And so, as I'm sharing with you tonight, I am actually on the balcony of my hotel, sharing some girl time at the beach. This is a trip that we take every single year. And it happens to be falling on the time when I'm doing What's the Word Wednesday. So I just decided, you know what, it doesn't matter if I'm at the beach, if I'm at home. I still want to share in this opportunity to just read a few words from the book so that you can one understand why it is important to celebrate yourself. If you did not see the reading from last week, I do encourage you to go back and check that out. You can find that on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook pages so that you can see why I do celebrate for the entire month. But I thought it was fitting to share the passage from tonight. I'm actually still in the same chapter that I was in on last week, and that is what chapter am I in? Let's see, chapter 6, which is to thine own self be true. And I just want to share just the quote that's on the inside page of the chapter. If you don't take care of you, then who will? And that's something that I think is very important for us to keep in mind, especially as women, because we wear multiple hats. We're doing so many things. We're standing in as wives, as mothers, as sisters, as business women. We're friends. We're managing a lot of different moving parts in the things that we're trying to navigate in the course of our lives. And so this trip that I'm on right now is something that is a part of this whole conversation around to thine own self be true. It is about carving out time for you. It is about recognizing that you, in fact, are important. I still have on my swimsuit from earlier today just because this is a time where I get to spend with my girlfriends and we get to just kind of decompress from everything that we have been dealing with over the course of the last few weeks. And so this is a time that really resonates with this chapter, to thine own self be true. So I'm going to take some time to just read a little bit again from the chapter. And again, I do encourage you, if you did not see last week's reading, I do want to let you know that you can go back to my YouTube channel, True Talk with Erica Salee. And you can also go to my Facebook pages, True Synergy LLC, and Erica Salee. That's my private Facebook page, but this is also streaming on that live. If you did not see that, I do encourage you to go back and check out last week's reading, because then it'll be clear to you as to why I celebrate the entire month. But for tonight, I do want to take this reading again from chapter 6, which is to thine own self be true. So here we go. So, guilt and feelings of selfishness tend to set in when we decide to focus on something other than spouses, children, or work, and dare I say, other things too. The truth, however, is that it's not selfish to take care of yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, you're potentially putting your health and wellness at risk by taking care of everything and everybody else while ignoring yourself. If you've ever flown on an airplane, you know the safety exercise flight attendants go through that reminds passengers to put their own oxygen masks on first in the event of an emergency. This helps you to get the oxygen you need before helping someone else. Let me read that again. This helps you to get the oxygen you need before helping someone else. Self care is just like that. When you are intentional about taking care of yourself, it gives you the mental and physical energy to handle the other demands that come your way. This idea of self care may not be easy to adopt after divorce, as self care may not be easy. Oh, let me go back. This idea of self care may not be easy to adopt after divorce, as I'm sure you've had a laundry list of things vying for your attention, including your spouse. Now, I do want to pause and say this: the idea of self care is not only difficult, or has been difficult for many to adopt after divorce, but also just period. Because as women, we're so used to managing the things that have to happen for everyone else. I just want to be really clear that it doesn't matter whether or not you've been through divorce or separation, but just by the sheer nature of what we as women are bearing, then sometimes it's not always easy for women to manage this idea, this concept of self-care. So, however, it's your attention. However, it's your imperative. However, let me just stop. What am I reading? However, it's imperative, okay? You learn to prioritize self care, and I'll share some approaches for that later in the chapter. So I do go into some ways that you can really focus on that in the chapter, so you can read into that when you purchase your copy of the book. So as we bring this to a close, so I remember a point during my marriage when my husband and I were both in graduate school. We had a toddler and we're both working full time. Then I was not intentional with carving out time for me on a regular basis. So mind, body, and spirit wellness wasn't really a central theme for me. We were too busy juggling work schedules, papers, and parenting. So you may have fallen into this same trap. But toward the end of the marriage and throughout the divorce, me time was essential. Workouts, walks alone in the park, reading, and prayer gave me a sense of peace and sanity. These were also great habits for stress relief. If you've ever thought devoting time to yourself is selfish or something about which to feel guilty, I want to ask you two questions. Those questions are: number one, if you don't care for yourself, and I said this at the beginning, then who will? Like, if you don't take the time out for you, then who is going to do that? And secondly, what is the impact? And this might be the most important question. What is the impact on your well-being if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't make yourself a priority? So, hopefully, honestly answering these questions will shift you to a new truth about selfishness and will prompt you to commit to new behaviors that focus on you. So, I wanted to read this passage specifically during this time because there has been a lot of things going on. I don't know if you guys are following me on my Facebook page, which is True Synergy LLC. You may have seen me have the conversation about the fact that my mother in law, I'm sorry, not my mother in law, my grandmother passed away. And we now have another family crisis that we're dealing with. And so, trying to manage a lot of different things. And in that, we are kind of navigating through a lot of different emotions, a lot of different thoughts, a lot of different things in terms of, well, what's next? What has to happen next? What do we do next? And that's just one aspect of life. So when you think about all the things that you may be trying to manage, the question that I would ask you is, how much are you investing in you so that whatever else it is that you have to manage, that you can do that from a place of rest, a place of renewal. You kind of give yourself an opportunity to just reset, right? Stop the thoughts, or at least slow them down, because we can't always stop the thoughts that we're thinking and trying to process and analyze. But we can give ourselves the opportunity to just slow them down enough so that we can invest in us and then take the next best step. So while I am here sharing time with my girls, there's three of us. And over the last few weeks, we have really been trying to manage a lot of different things, right? And so this was the perfect time for us to just kind of set those things aside and to take the time out that we need for laughter, for fun, for rejuvenation, for relaxation. There are times when this is probably year, oh gosh, probably 15, maybe even longer, 15 years that we've been doing this. And when I tell you that we literally sit out on the beach from the time we wake up and get breakfast until the sun goes down, and it's not like we have anywhere to be, it's not like we have anything to do, and we just kind of relish in that time. So when I say take time for you to thine own self be true, it is about investing in you so that you can do the other things that you need to do for other people. So I just wanted to share that tonight. Next week's reading is, let's see what's next week. Actually, next week is the, just trying to look and see what I got here. Okay, it's the 17th. So I want you to join me on next Wednesday for What's the Word Wednesday. I'm actually going to be reading from chapter 4, which is an interesting conversation to have. It is the dating game. So for those of you who are single, you already know what this whole landscape looks like when it comes to the dating game. So I'm going to be reading from a chapter, reading from that chapter on next week. So I do encourage you to join me for that. And again, if you have not gotten your copy of the book, I do encourage you to go to Amazon and purchase your copy of I'm Here Now What? Finding Joy After the Storm. Just trying to get the angle right. so that you can read for yourself and you can see more of the details that I did not share here in the reading, but it's just an opportunity for me to connect with you. And hopefully, there's something that resonates in these readings that you can just take and say, hey, you know what? That's a nugget that I can use and I can move on and navigate in the space that I am currently in. So, with that being said, I am going to shut this down. I've enjoyed just spending a few moments with you. So if you come in later, you happen to see the replay, I do want you to hashtag replay. I also encourage you to follow me on my various social media platforms. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, True Talk, TRUTALK, True Talk with Erica Salee. Follow me on Facebook at True Synergy LLC and Instagram. You may also be seeing this on my personal Facebook profile, Erica Salee, but you can find me in a number of different places. And so we'll continue the conversation from my Amazon #1 bestseller. I'm here now, what? Finding Joy After the Storm. Again, you can purchase your copy on Amazon, but I will be back on next week for another edition of What's the Word Wednesdays. So until then, and by the way, I'll be doing that every Wednesday in the month of July. Okay, so we got a few weeks left. So I'll be taking some time to share readings from the book every Wednesday in July. So I look forward to seeing you all again real soon. But until I do, I want you to take care of yourselves and yes, be well.